Buffalo 12-5, Jacksonville 13-4. Two Josh Allens, although one changed his name, another one had a baby. 52 points is the over-under in this one. You've got Buffalo, favorites in this game, but Jacksonville playing very tough in this one. Not very big, much of a point spread in it. How do you like, obviously, Buffalo going into Jacksonville? Florida should be all right. It's going to be quite windy, though, apparently. How do you like this when Sean McDermott is 0-5 on the road in playoffs?
Well, yeah, the Bills haven't won a road playoff game in 33 years. It's been since their last road playoff game. So I think that matters. I think Sean McDermott, this is a real negative thing. I think great coaches are able to take their team into someone else's house and win. Rex Ryan did it to the Patriots back in the heyday. We've seen this time and time before, and I think I think Josh Allen is missing this from his resume, that moment where you go into someone's house. The problem is, the last two times they played the Jaguars, they haven't even scored a touchdown. I think in the playoff, the big important games. There was the playoff game years ago with Tyrod Taylor. I think they lost 9-3. There was time they were there was 9-6. They lost in England when I went to watch them play. They played terribly against the Jags. So the Bills have a real tough time. And going into a place like Florida, when you're a cold weather team, into a bit of that kind of Florida weather kind of worries me a bit. A couple things that worry me, first of all, a million things that worry me about the Bills. One is that is this going to be Sean McDermott where his defense gives up 35 points again in a playoff game? Because that's kind of been the thing that's killed them over the years. It hasn't been Josh Allen. Josh Allen's one of the greatest playoff quarterbacks in NFL history. All his stats are up with Brady or better in almost every statistical category. But he doesn't have the wins because Sean McDermott's defense gives up 40 points, gives up 35. So to me, they have to be able to kind of focus and shut down this Jacksonville passing attack. I think a lot of people talk about Jacksonville. They've won 8 straight. They're the hottest team in football. They haven't really beat anyone in those last 8. There've been lots of kind of easy games. I think the NFL has been so bad with bad teams. I think every team, it feels like it's had an easy schedule. I'm interested to see your thoughts. And before I give my score, there's a few. The fact that this is the number one rushing offense versus number one rushing defense, I think that usually always benefits the defense. I don't know why. So I think Josh Allen, the fact that he's got Dalton Kincaid back, I think is huge. I think they have to get him involved. They can't depend on any of the receivers. They stink. This has to be a James Cook, Dalton Kincaid game. And if those two guys can get it going, Josh Allen with his feet, I think they can get this done. Don't turn it over, because the Bills' worst enemy every single week when they've been lost games has been themselves.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Jacksonville has not allowed a 100-yard rusher this season. And James Cook, number one rusher, number one rushing defense. So this is going to